questions about the game before the first pitch tonight on Fox. Do not miss out. As always, it is free to play. All right, here we go, guys. Time for Nick to unveil the NFL tiers entering Week 8. Lot went on in Week 7. Chiefs are back under 500. Lamar lost to the Bengals. Whole bunch of blowouts. So, Nick, take us through your NFL tiers entering Week 8.
Very controversial week of the tiers. There was a mini mutiny in the room. Folks said that I was embarrassing the committee by not properly ranking the Chiefs, by not giving the Cardinals their respect. It was a tough meeting that went late into the night, but we got through it. Let's unveil the bottom 4 rows. Some intrigue at near the bottom. Don't worry about those bottom 2 rows entirely. Those teams are awful. Seattle. Look at where the Seahawks are. The question remaining, will Russell Wilson pantomime a draft room by himself? Wait, they don't even have their first-round pick. How's he going to do that? And then the row right above. All those teams have 3 wins, all still alive, but all got to start stacking wins. Is that the Falcons on there? It is. Okay. Now, reveal the next one. The committee was right. I have to treat the Chiefs like they're one of 32. The committee has 32 children. We love them all the same. And the Chiefs are a game from relegation. What does relegation on the tiers mean? It means you get lumped in with that first group. If the Chiefs lose to the Giants, they're just one of the bad teams. However, if they beat the Giants and then they have the Packers and then all of a sudden turn the season around. But right now, it's a swing game. Monday Night Football against the Giants. All right, show me the next group of teams. Because now we're getting to the good teams. Maybe. We don't believe you. Raiders, you have 5 wins. Guess what? The committee doesn't believe you. You have 1 good win on the season. That was in Week 1 in overtime against Baltimore. We also wonder if some of the, buzz from Gruden being out and the new coach coming in is going to wear off. You played some bad teams. And the Saints, has there been a less impressive or inspiring win in the NFL all year than the one the Saints just had over the Seahawks? I'm not sure, but those 2 teams are combined 9-4, so you've got to give them their respect. But the committee does not believe you. All right, next group of teams, please. AFC logjam. Guys, this is tough to figure here. The Ravens plummeted after getting beat down by the Bengals. But the Ravens and Bengals have the same record. Does anyone truly believe the Bengals are a better team? I don't know, but they did just go to Baltimore and crush them. The Chargers, coming off a bad loss, had a bye week, so they couldn't move up or down. That's how we see the AFC logjam. A big fall from grace for Baltimore. Next group, A+A game. All 4 of these teams look awesome with regularity. Now, they're not quite as good as the 3 teams above them, but the Packers keep taking care of business. The Rams, the Lions did everything except for, have Dan Campbell run on the field for a play. That wasn't enough. The Titans just annihilated the Chiefs. And the Bills, we've seen them at their best. We've also seen them at their worst where their quarterback literally trips himself, falls on his face, and loses because of it. But we got to give them credit for how good they've been when they've been good. All right, number 1 contenders, please. Oh, look at the Tampa Bay Bucks. Highest they've been all year on the tiers. Guys, by folks, I really mean Broussard, accuses the committee of having biases and agendas as opposed to being sober analysts of what we've seen this season. Even though Tampa's schedule has been light, the way they dominated the Bears, 35 points in the first half, just ended that game immediately. We've got to give them their respect. And the Cowboys were the number 1 contenders last week, and they were on a bye, so they stay there. They don't move up or down. And then, not called the favorites, undefeated, not undisputed, the Arizona Cardinals up top. So here's the thing. There is a lot of controversy around the Cardinals within the committee. Some guys say their quarterback might be the MVP. Their defense has allowed more than 20 points only once all year. What more do you want to see? Other members of the committee say, yeah, but do you really in your bones, in your marrow, believe in them? And the answer to that for many of us is no. However, We are almost halfway through the season. They are still undefeated, and they have an opportunity on Thursday night to beat the Packers and to be a unanimous number one. And if they lose to the Packers, the committee felt it would have been kind of unfair that all year long they never get the reward of being at the top of the tiers. So win or lose, it's going to make sense. If they lose, at least they had their moment in the sun. If they win, they're going to be everyone's number one. So there it is. The committee's tiers are entering week 8. Broussard, you have accused the committee of bias. You have accused the committee of corruption. Hopefully, that all is put to rest after this week, where the Chiefs don't even make it on the screen here. Hopefully, it's all put to bed.
All right, Nick, despite this smile on my face, I'm in pain. Because I think you know, and I think everybody on the panel knows, that there is nothing I hate more than having to say, I told you so. But, Nick, well, I told you so. Last week, who was I saying should be number one on the tiers? The Arizona Cardinals, and you and the committee fought me on it, and it was like they clearly should be number one. Now, I said Monday that Tampa Bay, I think, is the best team in the NFL. But I'm fine with the Cardinals being number one, especially with that title. Great title. Undefeated, but not undisputed. That works. All right, so that's number one. Secondly, the Buccaneers. Finally, every single week you have underrated the Buccaneers, and now you're finally seeing the light, and you've got them where they should be. So I'm proud of you and the committee on that one. Now, I go down a little bit. See, they're not even on the screen yet, and they should, because the disrespect continues. I have been mocked. I have been ridiculed. I've been taunted, scoffed at, the jibes. I mean, everybody, while you're in this ingenital, you've destroyed me for having the audacity to say the Saints would make the playoffs and giving Jameis just a little love, just a tad bit of love. And lo and behold, Jameis's Saints are ranked ahead of Patrick's Chiefs. Oh, sweet vindication, Nick. I love it. All right, and finally, this is my last thing, Nick. The Chiefs. Let's just change that name. I mean, a game from relegation. I know it hurts you to put that in there, but just change it to just because they're my favorite team. I mean, that would be more accurate. Just because they're my favorite team. Because that's the only thing. You know they should be a tier below. And this is going to hurt you, Nick, but it's the truth. They should be a tier below, nestled right next to Wilds' Patriots. The Patriots. And you know it. You know that's the truth. They're both 3 and 4.
I don't know
they should be nestled right next to Wilds' Patriots.
Yeah.
Wilds knows them right.
Gloves off. This is outrageous. This is outrageous. You don't, Broussard. You can't have it both ways, my friend. You can't on Monday be like, oh, Nick's panicked. I'm not panicked. I picked the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl. I still think they can turn it around. And now this morning, say they belong in the dreck, in the mud, in the morass with the New England Patriots. Stop that. That is utter and complete nonsense, and you know it. And this idea that you're saying, I told you so, Broussard, if 11 years ago, you came up to me and said, Joe Biden is president, you would have been wrong. You don't get to then 10 years later be like, oh, told you so. Look who's the president now. Last week, the Cardinals weren't number one. The Bucs weren't underrated. This is a living, breathing document, the way the Constitution is supposed to be. It can evolve with new information. And so the idea that because a team is now won, it means they should have been won 2 weeks ago and you get some victory lap, I'll be honest, semi-pathetic and embarrassing victory lap is beneath you. It's utterly beneath you. And by the way, congrats to your Saints for that amazing, inspiring 13-10 victory over Geno Smith. The committee was very impressed by it. Very impressed by it.
Just win, baby. Just win, baby.
Go ahead, Wild.
Here we go.
Can I make a...
Let's go, Kevin Wild.
Oh, look who's here. Ulysses visiting from Arizona. He made a special appearance since there's birds finally at the top of the tiers. We are again asking for an invitation to the committee since you have a log jam between the Ravens and the Bengals, even though the Bengals literally just blew out the Ravens. So for the following reasons, sorry, we got dressed up and everything, I would like to move the Bengals up one tier for the following reasons contained henceforth and herein. Sorry, Ulysses, fly away, my friend. First up, a wonderful defense. How good is Cincinnati's defense? Well, I'll let you know. They've got a better scoring defense than the Rams and the Bucks. They're only giving up 18 points a game. They've never given up more than 25, and they just held Lamar to 17 points, sacked him 5 times. They're playing great, so it's not just all Joe Burrow. Speaking of Joe Burrow, how's he playing this year? Phenomenal is the answer. Joe Burrow has more passing touchdowns than Rodgers and Allen. Mainstream media won't tell you that. They'll tell you that Joe Burrow's just okay. They'll tell you that Joe Burrow's hot. No, he's playing better than Josh Allen. He's playing better than Aaron Rodgers. Here's the other thing. Joe Burrow just started his 17th game. He's low-key a rookie +1 game. So he's playing phenomenal and is the pride of LSU with his old running mate. How's Mr. Chase doing? Is he in the Ben Simmons LSU alumni? Not showing up? Wrong. The exact opposite. More reception yards and touchdowns than Tyreek Hill. Also, far few passes bouncing off his hands going as interceptions. Our guy, Jamar Chase. Literally the best start to a career ever by a wide receiver. 754 receiving yards through 7 games. 21.5 yards per reception. On pace for 85 receptions. Great connection. Yeah. And the final point, Nicholas. I know that the committee looks backwards rather than forwards. The Bengals have the Jets.